to the left. And this 5, we're going to move it to the right. Therefore, we say now 3x, 2x goes to the left, take away 2x equals, now 1 it's already on the right, but 5 we just move it over, so plus 5 become -5. Now I try to rewrite what it's going to become. Exactly, thank you very much. So 3x take away 2x is just going to be x, like 3 apple minus 2 apple, just going to be 1 apple. Now 1 minus 5 is going to be -4. Hopefully you would have no problem with that. That's very true. Thank you, Sharon. So, well, hopefully you would have no problem with 1 minus 5, but if you think of it as a line number, see here, you say 1 and then -5. Whenever you're dealing with minus, you go to the left. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 here, you start at 1 and then you go -5. It means you go to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is -1, -2, -3, and -4. That's why you we ended up x as -4, and that's the final answer. Okay, so that was about 10 minutes. We just reviewed how to solve equations. This is like one equation that has one unknown variable. So that's how we do it. We first push all the numbers one side, all the variables the other side, and probably last step is to divide everything by the coefficient of x, which is the number that is multiplied by x. Thereby, we find the answers. Does anyone have any question? Please let me know. Okay, so if not, then let's continue. 2 more questions. So the first one, it says, the angles in a triangle are in ratio 1 to 2 to 3. What are the measure of the angles? The angles in a triangle are in the ratio 1, 2, and 3. Now, we have to be able to understand what does that mean and put it into, a understandable and reasonable framework. So we kind of like have to translate the English, which is a question, to the math. Okay. Now, when someone says the ratio of the angle, first we are talking about a triangle. So say we're talking about this triangle. Okay. Now, the angles in a triangle, which is this, are in ratio 1 to 2 to 3. What does it mean? It means if the first one, say, is x or 1x, the other one is going to be 2x. That's what the ratio 1 to 2 to 3 means. And the other is going to be 3x. So please read the question and make sure you understand the way I put the answer. Okay, so first it says it's a triangle, therefore you just draw a triangle, and this has some consequences that we can, with which we can solve the question. Now, so it's a triangle, it has 3 angles, and the ratios are 1 to 2 to 3. So therefore, if one angle is x, the other is 2x, and the third one is 3x. Now, how do I calculate the angle if that is the case? What is x? Can someone help me? Think about it. And in the triangle, what was the property of any kind of triangle? So the thing was, internal angle of a triangle, they add up to Okay, I see that there is one answer pops up. So X is 30. Well, how do you get that? Let me see who posted that. Here's the chat. Oh my goodness. That's true. X is 30, but how do you get that? Yes. Thank you, Constance. So the thing is that, see here, we talked about like angles of a triangle, they add up the internal angle of a triangle, they add up to 180. Now, if that's the case, now one angle is X, the other is 2X, and the other is 3X. So because the ratio is 1 to 2 through 3. Now, what does this imply is that if you add all of the angles together, no matter, you don't have the number for the angles, that's fine. Whatever that is, you just put it in. So X plus, and then 2X plus 3X, right? So all angles of a triangle, X, 2X, and 3X, they would add up to 180. Right? Now, what does that, this is now an equation. So, well, 1x, 2x, and 3x, they would add up to 6x. So therefore, that's why Constance says 180 divided by 6. So 6x equals 180. Now, well, how do we solve this equation? As I said, when you get to this point, you divide both sides of the equation by whatever that is multiplied by x, which we call it coefficient, by 6. This way, you get your x isolated. So x equals, and 180 divided by 6 is going to be 30. Okay. Does anyone have any question, please? Please ask me. Okay, so the question was, the angles in triangle are in the ratio 1 to 2 to 3. What are the measure of the angles? Okay, so we found x. We still haven't answered the question, because the question says, what are the measures of the angle? So x is 30, therefore this is 30. 2x is going to be 60 because 2 times 30, and 3x is 3 times 30, which is 90. So basically, that's the triangle that we are dealing with. Here is 30, here is 60, and here is 90. So basically, we are looking at a right angle triangle. Okay. It was easy. So you just, the trick here, the first thing that is important here is that you understand basically that, you know, when it says the ratio is 1 to 2 through 3, you got to know that, okay, you are talking about a triangle that has 3 angles, and if you put the first angle as x, then the ratio is 2 to 3, the other is 2x, and the last one is 3x. And therefore you say 6x equals 180 because they add up to 180, and therefore x is 30, x is 30, and then 2x is 60, and 3x is 90. So kind of like this. If this is 30 and this is 60 and this is 90. Good. Does anyone have any question? Okay. The last question here for your homework was, well, find the angle ZYP. Basically, find the angle Y, but ZYP. So ZYP, they are looking for this angle. How do I do this? Please take your time. And that I basically posted this for your homework. So I suppose that everyone should have thought about all these questions. So does anyone have any question? How am I going to calculate the angle y, particularly ZYP? Okay. Eileen says 41. Okay, so let's see. So can someone tell me what is this angle first? Angle Z, which is actually called, so let me, okay, use annotate. See here. So I'm looking for this angle. Can someone tell me what is that angle? Which is XZY. So I'm looking for XZY, the angle XZY. What is that? Alina. So it is a, okay, this is a triangle, right? Now, three angles of a triangle, they have to add up to 180. Okay, so what would be the angles at? Probably, Alina. Thank you for posting the answer, but that was not accurate. Maybe you were referring to something else. But how can we find the angle ZYX, given the fact that, yeah, so ZYP. Okay, I see. Oh yeah. Thank you for that. So it seems that you've tried actually to solve it, but can someone tell me what is angle YZX or ZX? Sorry, XZY. What is this? Not a difficult question. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Arlene. So because they, in this triangle, all the angles, they have to add up to 180. So you would say 52 plus 58 plus X, I call it, equals 180. Therefore, X is 180, take away 52, take away 58, which is going to be 70 at the end of the day, because these two are going to be 110, and then 180 take away 110 is going to be 70. Okay, so if that is 70, I just put it there. Then what is the other angle, which is YZP? What is this angle? So my question, I repeat again. See, if this angle is 70 degrees, yes, thank you very much, Alina. If this is 70 degrees, then the other, well, has to be 110 because that's a straight line. And a straight line, the angles are going to add up to 180. Okay. Now, can someone tell me what is this angle, the final? Alina, yourself, could you please tell me what is the angle that we are looking for, ZYP?
I got 38.
Well, because I'm pretty sure that you did it, but I ask yourself again because that 38 probably was not very accurate. So the thing is, you're so close, but what we do is that if I call this, say, angle, I call it angle Y. So Y, I just call it Y. Y plus 110 plus 29, they're going to add up to 180, right? There are three angles of the triangle. They add up to 180. Therefore, their angle Y is going to be 180, take away 110. So 180, take away 110, take away 29. You just move this over, right? In order to solve this equation. Now, this take away that is going to be 70. So Y equals 70 minus 29, which I believe is going to be 41, as one of your friends already answered. So it was just a miscalculation, you know, like typo or something in math. So pay attention. You know all the principles, but if you just do a little mistake on the calculation, then you will lose a lot of mark on the, say, exam at school. Okay, so how did we, well, let me just quickly recap what we just did. Okay, they are looking for that angle. Oops. Yeah, you're looking for this angle. So for this angle, you can think of it this way as well. That would draw your attention to the fact that it's one of the angle of a triangle. So in a triangle, if you have two angles, you can calculate the third one. So thereby you need this angle. If you need this angle, then you would say that, okay, this is a straight line. So you got to find the other angle, which I just showed. Now, how can we find that? Because they add up to 180, 58 plus 52 is 110. Therefore, this is 70. If this is 70, then the other is 110. And thereby, this is going to be 41. Okay, that was a quick recap of our past lesson homework. It took us 20 minutes. Now, does anyone have any question on all of these? Take your time and just please ask either on the equation, question number 2, or question number 3. Okay, so if there is no question, then we're gonna continue. Okay, so here, let me stop sharing for a second so that I clear the screen. Okay, here. Let me just bear with me a second. Okay. I think we've already done that. Okay. So, good. Now, one of the angles in a triangle is right angle. So basically, we know that we are dealing with a right angle triangle because one of the angles in a triangle is a right angle. So we are technically dealing with a right angle triangle. But now, what's the question on it? Show that the other two angles are complementary. How do we do that? See here, we are dealing with a right angle triangle. It's not a difficult question. Okay, we're dealing with a right angle triangle. Now, it says, show that the other two is complementary. What does complementary mean? Do you remember? Like probably the first lesson I talked about complementary angles. Complementary angles are the angles that they add up to 90 degrees. Okay, so for example, if you have like this angle and you split it like here, like this, then you would say, okay, if this is A1 and like this, A1, and this is A2, we say A1 and A2 are complementary. Now, the question here, it says, you're dealing with a right angle triangle, show that the other two angle, which is, for example, if it's called ABC, show that the angle A and C are complementary. How do I do that? Well, you say, because it's a triangle, angle A plus angle B plus angle C, they add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so now if the angle B is 90 degree, if this is 90 degree, then, well, we are looking for angle A plus angle C, right? So how do we do that? We just move this 90 over, because this is equation. We say angle A, angle B, and angle C, they have to add up to 180, because that's the definition of like internal angular triangle. But then if angle B is 90 degree, because it's a right angle triangle, you just move this 90 over. So therefore it's going to be angle A plus angle C is going to be 180, and then take away 90. Now, what is 180 take away 90? It's just going to be 90. And that's that. That now we proved it. We just proved that angle A plus angle C is going to be 90 degree. And that's the definition of complementary triangle. So as complementary angles. So as I said, I'm not going to go over the proof questions, but some of them are, well, easy to grasp. I can talk about them. This was one of those, actually. So now think about the question. I'm gonna explain it quickly again, because I suppose because that was a proof, you may go a little, surprised about that. But now, read the question and imagine what would be the answer. Again, it says one of the angle of a triangle is a right angle. So therefore, we are dealing with a right angle triangle. So here is a right angle triangle. Show that the other two angles are complementary. Now, the meaning of complementary is, well, they add up to 90 degree. And then it says show that. So this is a proof question. We say this is angle A, angle B, and angle C. And therefore we say angle A plus angle B plus angle C, they add up to 180 degrees. Angle B is 90 degrees. Therefore, we say angle A plus angle C is, well, 180 take away 90. Therefore, angle A plus C is going to be 90 degrees. And that's the definition of complementary. This is the proof. Okay, there are different kinds of proof that we do, but this is one of them. Does anyone have any question? Please let me know. Okay, so if that is the case, then I suppose you get that, and therefore I'm going to move on to the exterior angle. So I talked about internal angle of a triangle, right? That they add up to 180. But now I want to talk about something else, which is exterior angle. Now, here it's talking about, well, let me just give me a second. See here, it says in the previous section, we examined the interior angle of a triangle. In this section, we'll take a look at the angles formed when the extended side of the triangle passed the vertex. We cleverly called this the exterior angle. What does it mean? See here, all these basically angles, they're called, it's like vertex. Now, if you continue the line, for example, as you can see, the side BC, we continue this and to the point D, and thereby we see that not only the angle C is, this is the internal angle, and X is the exterior angle. Okay, internal versus external. So if I want to, for example, show another exterior angle, external angle is going to be here. So I continue angle vertex A. So this is going to be the external angle. Okay. So now, what's the significance of it? So the external, which I just try to draw it for you here. So see here, this is going to be one external. It's going to be another external, and this is going to be another external. External, external, and external. Now, what it means is that the relation is that the external angle is going to be the sum of the two remote internal angle. I repeat again. Any external angle, which is in this case, the external angle of the angle C is X. X as an external angle, it's going to be the sum of the two remote internal angle. What do I mean by remote? See here, if this is my triangle and say, here's the external angle. This is the external angle. Now, the remote internal angles are this and then this. These are two remote internal angles for this external angle. Another example. So for example, say this. This is the external angle. Now, for this external angle, the two remote internal angle is this and then this. So basically, not the internal angle that is next to the external, but the other two, the ones that are remote, right? So now the principle is that if you add these two remote internal angles, they would add up to that external angle. Now, what does that mean? So if they are asking for X here, you would say, okay, I would add 35 and 79, which is going to be 114. So 35 plus 79 is going to be 114. That's the internal angle. So X is going to be 114 because external angle is going to be the sum of two remote internal angle. Sum of the two remote internal angles. Okay. Does anyone have any question about the principle itself, the thing that I just said? Okay, so we'll see. We'll solve some questions and we'll try to find now. These are not good questions. Well, let me see. Okay, so first this. Can someone tell me, I go back, actually, maybe I give that question for your homework, but let me first do the ones that make more sense to you. Now, can someone tell me what is the angle Y? So if you pay attention, angle Y is going to be the external angle, right? And then what we said is that external angle is going to be equal to the sum of the two remote internal angle. Now, two remote internal angles are this and then this, isn't it? Now, the sum of the two remote internal angles. Now, can someone tell me what would be the angle Y?
100 degrees.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. So what it means is that, as I said, I write it again. See here, external. Thank you. That's true. So external angle equals sum of the remote interior angles, right? So what is the remote internal angle to this external angle? Say y. It's 38 and 62. So look at that. Therefore, external angle, which is y, equals sum of the remote interior angle. So the remote interior angle of 38 and 62. Therefore, y equals 38 plus 62. Okay, which is going to be, as your friend mentioned, 100 degrees. Does anyone have any question on this? Please investigate. Ask me. It's completely okay. I can explain it again. Okay, so here I basically, in this section, I introduced external angle to you, and the external angle is going to be equal to the sum of the remote here is important, interior angles. Now, so if you don't have any question, then how about question, wait a second, how about question basically 262. So they are saying find angle C. This is a little, it works on the same principle, but think about it. I give you some time. So they're looking for angle C. Think about it and give me a feedback.
110 minus 38.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. That's very true. Now I want everyone see this for herself. What your friend said is angle C probably is going to be 110 take away 38. Now, why it is so? Can everyone explain it for herself? So what was the principle? The principle is that external angle of a triangle is going to be the sum of the two remote internal angles. So basically, if I write it in terms of the name of the angles, the angle A, well, the external A, not the internal. I call it A external equals the sum of the two internal, basically B and C. Sum of the two internal, B and C. Right? If that is the case, now you just need to put the numbers here. So angle A is this is going to be 110. B is going to be 38. And well, therefore, angle C, I call it X. So this is going to be our equation. 110 equals 38 plus X. That's why B and C add up to 110. That's why your friend said X is going to be 110, take away 38, which I believe it's going to be 72. Now, therefore, X is going to be 72. Yeah. Okay. Does anyone have any question on this? Okay, if not, we're gonna keep going. Now they're saying find angle Y. This is a little more tricky, I would say. This is a little more tricky, but so before answering 263, let me first talk about 264, and then I'm going to go back to 263 as well. Here, 264, it says, must an angle of a triangle always must an exterior angle of a triangle always be greater than 90 or not? Think about it. It says, is it the case that interior angle of a triangle, it has to be greater than 90 or not necessarily? If your answer is, well, let me see. Okay, Constance, you're saying no, but if your answer is no, can you give me an example that an exterior angle of a triangle is not greater than 90? Just give me a example of a triangle. So what I want you from you is that, okay, this is a triangle. This is A, B, C. Give me the measures of the angles so that, for example, an external angle of one of these is going to be 80, something like that. Can you tell me that? But your answer is true. Let me first tell you this. At least your intuition was true. Now, how do we, take how do we take account for that? So let me first get it clear that everyone is on board in terms of what is the question. They're saying must. Is it the case that the external angle of a triangle, it has to be always greater than 90? So say, okay, this. Okay. Now, this is internal angle. If I continue this is going to be external angle. Isn't it possible? So if this is, say, 120, then the external angle is going to be 60. So if that is the case, then it means this angle plus this angle, they're going to be 60. That's it. That's a counter example, right? Because the question says that must an exterior angle of a triangle always be greater than 90? So the answer, as Constance says, no. Why? Here's the answer. Here's the example, right? Exterior angle, because the interior angle is already 120. It's a big interior angle. So the exterior, which is going to be 180, take away the internal, it's going to be 60. That's it. So it's not that always it has to be greater than 90. Now, did you get what I said, or you want me to expand on the explanation? Okay. So yeah, you can think about it yourself again later. But the thing is that so that was not a must. So this must is ruining the situation. It's not a must. Now, let me go back to the question that we just kept. So they're asking for angle Y, but in this case, this is a little more challenging because you are given with two external angles. Then how do we do that? Something comes to my mind, but I'm not sure if this is the easiest way, but I give you some time to think about it and tell me some feedback. Two external angles are given for Z and X, and they are looking for internal angle. Yeah, there is one easier way as well. So think about it. This is a good question.
This is the rubber then.
Okay, so see here, can someone tell me what is this angle? Because see here, X has two parts. If I want to draw this triangle a little bigger so that you can really distinguish between the angles. So if this is Z, Z has an exterior part and has an interior part. Also, if that is X, X has interior angle and has exterior angle. Now, if the exterior is 123, can someone tell me what would be the interior angle? X interior angle.
57.
Very good. Thank you very much. You remember, everyone, that straight line, right? It's going to be 180 anyway. So if this is going to be, if this is 123, then with that interior, so they have to add up to 180. Therefore, as your friend said, this is going to be 57. So, okay. Now, can you tell me what is angle Y? Because we are one step closer to that. So we are looking for the angle Y. So see here, then this is, if this is as we said 57, right? Pay attention that this is 97. So we are looking for Y. I still give you some time because I suppose you can do it. You can find the answer. See, for finding the Y, we would need this angle. And I suppose we can calculate that. Thank you, Maggie. So although I didn't calculate the answer, but I suppose you are, yeah. So 2 people, they're saying 16. So I suppose that's the answer. So now, if you want to find the interior Z, because Z has an exterior part and interior part, what is the interior Z, please? Can someone tell me? Help me with that. Interior Z. Sorry, what was that?
83 degrees.
Exactly 83 degrees. So this is 83. Why? Because 83 plus 97, they have to add up to 180, which they do. Now, if that is the case, now you got 2 angles of a triangle. You got to calculate the third one. So you would say 83 plus 57 plus angle Y is going to be 180 because these are going to be the internal angle of the triangle. Now you just solve this equation. Therefore, angle Y is going to become 180, take away 83, which is going to be 97. 97, take away 57, is going to be, it seems it's going to be 20. But both of you said it's going to be 16. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me put it in the calculator. So angle Y, it's going to be 180, take away 83, and then take away 57. Let me put it in the calculator and make sure that we are getting it correct. So, okay, here, 180, take away 83. Take away 57. Oops, it's going to be 40. Am I right? Yeah, it's going to be 40. Therefore, angle Y is 40 degrees. Does anyone have any question about it? So I just delete all of that so that I can, quickly explain all of that. So the question is to find angle Y, but we are just given with exterior angle of the triangle, two exterior angle. The point is that each exterior angle with the interior vicinity angle, which is the interior one, they have to add up to 180. Therefore, this is 57 and the other is 83. Now, focus on the triangle itself. Therefore, the angle Y, it's going to be 180. Take away 57, then take away 83. Can you do it on your calculator and make sure that this is going to be 40? Are we all on the same page? Are we all on the same page? So yeah, I suppose you don't need to even answer that because yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, so I will give you one or two questions that we just skipped. I will give you as a homework, okay? But which I suppose it's going to be which questions, one of them this questions. I will give it to you as your homework, and you don't need to prove this. Yeah, that's it. That's the only angle and the only homework that I'm going to give you, but I'll give you some more homework as well. Anyways, I want to give you an overview. So the next lesson, still we are going to work on the parallel line, but pay attention because now we have learned interior angle of a triangle is going to be add up to 180. And also we learned about exterior angle. So we want to revisit the parallel lines with these new concepts that we just learned. So therefore you're going to have more variety on top of the question that you'll be asked about. Okay. And I think we can get that done in one lesson or two lessons. Then we're totally gonna leave these sections, okay? And we're gonna move to the congruence triangle, but congruence triangles in the chapter 3. However, in this case, I'm gonna make a bridge to the unit 6 because I've taught this textbook. It's better I just talk about the principle of the unit 3, but then we're gonna go to unit 6, which is gonna give us all the basically exercises that is related to chapter 3, unit 3. I'm not sure why the textbook actually arranged so, but that's the way that we are gonna go. Anyway, so just to make sure everyone is on board, so we are done but in one or two lessons we'll be done with parallel lines and triangles, interior angle, exterior angle, all of that, all about angles, okay? And we're going to move on to the congruent triangles. That's the agenda. But for the next time, I'm going to give you one question that is left already here, and basically two questions probably off of, like, not necessarily on the textbook. I will give it to you off of the internet. But I think here, yeah, one of the things about the algebra that I'm going to give you as well is about the system of equations. So the thing that I will give you for the system of equations is this. See here, for example, if you have x plus y equals 20 and say x minus y equals say 10, Now, how are we going to solve this system of equations? Well, I give you just a, I talked about it before, but I will, solve it for you again so that you know how you deal with that. So you're going to add both of these equations together, left side by left side, right side by right side. So see here, plus y and minus y, if you add them together, they're going to go away, so it becomes 0. X and x is going to become 2x. So 2x, and then here 0 is going to be 20, and 10 is going to be 30. So therefore, you would say 2x is 30. Therefore, you divide both sides by 2. X is going to be 15. Therefore, x is going to be 15. And if you find x, you just put this back into either of the equation, either the top one or the bottom one.